Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jason Turley. We're back with more Pico Gym challenges, more picoCTF, general skills, beginner-friendly, capture the flag challenges to solve. In the previous videos, we knocked out these top three. Today, we're going to be looking at the nice Netcat challenge. So click on it, and the description reads, there's a nice program that you can talk to by using this command in a shell. NC for Netcat, and then the host name is mercury.picoctf.net. So that's a host or a website or a service that picoCTF is maintaining on their infrastructure, and then a port number. The port is like a door or some type of way to communicate with a service over the internet. All right, so port 80, port 443 are for websites, and this one just happens to be in port 21135. So we can make this nice and easy and just highlight, copy this, go over to our terminal. I didn't clean up from last video once again. And let's just paste in that command. Whoa. And it just prints out a bunch of info, a bunch of numbers, right? So this has something to do with the flag, right? This has something to do with solving the challenge. We can look at the hints. It says you can practice using Netcat with this other challenge called What's a Netcat? You can practice reading and writing ASCII with this Let's Warm Up challenge. So looking at that first challenge in the hint, What's a Netcat? Using Netcat and ASCII is going to be pretty important. Can you connect to this website, this host at port 642870 at the flag? So just like before, we can grab this. Let me clear the screen. Netcat, that IP address, and let's paste in the port number. Hit enter, and wow, that was it. You're on your way to becoming the Netcat master. So let's grab that, and we can paste that in here. Nice and simple. So that's the basics of how to use Netcat. The second hint that they gave us says, hey, if you're unfamiliar with ASCII and numbers and hex, do this challenge called Let's Warm Up from picoCTF 2019. If I told you a word started with OX70 in hex, what would that start with in ASCII? And then the hint, submit your answer in our flag format. For example, if your answer was hello, it would be picoCTF hello. So OX70. There's a few ways we can solve this. Let me do man ASCII. And it opens up a man page of ASCII charts, hex, decimal. So an ASCII character set encoded in octodecimal and hex. ASCII is American Standard Code for information interchange. So essentially all it is a table, it's a chart, it's a mapping between decimal, hex, and then like English characters. So if I can scroll down here, we can see decimal 0 and hex is 00. And the English character or the computer character is like null. It's a null byte. It's nothing. Another popular one, decimal 10 or OA, is the new line character, the line feed character. So that comes up pretty often in reverse engineering challenges. You might see hex 0A, and that's the new line character being entered. But we want hex 70. So scroll down here. This column is hex. Hex 70 is P. P is in pico. Hit Q to quit out of the man page. Another thing we can do is open up a Python interpreter. You see this is Python 3.10. And there's a cool function called CHR. And we can put in the hex 70 in there, and it'll print out the ASCII character. I wonder if I can do this without the OX in front of it. No, that changes it. I think that's decimal. So hex 70 is F. Or forgive me, hex 70 is P. So coming back here, our flag should be picoCTF, and then the opening brace, P, and the closing one. So there we have it. So going back to our original challenge where it wants us to connect over this. Let me just grab this again. Cool, let's make a new directory. Let's just call this nice Netcat CD into that directory. Let's run that netcat command one more time. And this time redirect all that output to a file that I'm just going to call message.txt. I can cat out message.txt and it prints everything fine. Let's open up a Python script. Add the shebang line. This is optional, but I like doing it. Python 3. Let's add some comments first. Read each line of the file. And convert the numbers to ASCII. All right. In order to read each line of the file, there's 100 ways to do this in Python, but the simplest for me is, since we want to iterate across every single number, let me open up that here. Let me cat out message.txt just so we can see what we're working with. I want to iterate across each one of these and change them to a letter, right? To their ASCII representation. I could do this one by one. Do like CHR of like 125, for example. And we see the ending curly brace. So we know this is the flag, but that's going to take forever, and we're programmers, so we can do that a lot better. So let's create a for loop. Let's just say for number in messages.txt. Let's open it up in reading mode. We want to do something. We want to convert it to ASCII. Before we do that, let's just print out number. Okay, so this works. It prints out all the numbers, but we see that there's an extra space. There's an extra new line. So let's strip that out. We can do this because if we just print out type of number, type of that variable, we see that these are strings. They're not actually numbers. So let's strip it. Let's strip it of all the new line characters, right? So now it's all just, there's not that additional new line. It just has that one new line, if that makes any sense. To make this a little more clean, let's take out that print. And let's convert this to an integer. Because right now it's string. And now if I print out the type of number, we should get integer. Right? So now these are integers, they're not the string. One more variable, we'll call it ASCII, equals CHR of number. And then finally, we can print out ASCII. There we go. We see picoCTF, and then we see the flag. If we want to make this easier to read, add a comma at the end of your print statement and do end equals blank quotes. This will print everything on one line, and we get our flag. picoCTF, good kitty, nice kitty, and then the unique user-generated string at the end. So that's how I did this. We could probably just do this in one line if we wanted to be really cute and really fancy. We can just combine all that to one line, and then we could comment all this out. Clear screen, rerun it. Oops, I forgot to do the end equals blank. So there you have it. You could do it either way. You could do it all on one line, or you could build it out in different variables. Whatever you prefer. But that is the answer. This is our flag. That's the money right there. Submit it, solve it. And we won. We got our 15 points of credit, and we can move on to the next challenge in another video. So there you have it. I'm very interested to see how you guys solve this challenge if you found a different way. Let me know in the comments below. As always, take it easy and see you guys in the next video.